let's dive into the soft skills. What sort of soft skills are we generally talking about?
Look, it can be a range of different stuff depending, but, in terms of what I spend a lot of time being asked for and talking about would be elevator pitches. So how do you introduce yourself in a compelling way and the organisation in a compelling way? And that's not just for salespeople, right? Because you could be talking to vendors or whoever, clients, customers, and internally, just to be able to say, well, this is what I do and what I bring. So elevator pitch is a really important thing. Presentation skills is another one, and being able to package up information in a compelling way so that people, you get buy-in. Networking, that's another one that I get asked to talk about a lot. So networking is absolutely critical. Those are the top three for me that I get asked a lot. Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people hearing it, they can sort of see and feel, that could be useful. But I think a lot of, especially small businesses, will go, it's not really core to their job. Why would I want to do those top three skills as an example?
Yeah, so it's funny, right? Because I reckon the world goes round through networks, right? It's who you know, and that helps as a small business owner. That certainly helps me because my employees also know people, right? But in terms of elevator pitches, then that is about being able to articulate who you are, particularly in a networking situation. It can be a perfect example. So being able to say that and introduce yourself and the organisation in a compelling way actually puts people on the front foot. In a different space that I work in is in interviewing, and I'll interview, I'll help candidates to learn to interview. But there's a really interesting study that was done, and it's really hard to pinpoint when this was, but say 2016, and LinkedIn promote it or talk about it a lot. And they interviewed 2,000 hiring managers, and a third of those hiring managers had made a hiring decision in the first 90 seconds of meeting somebody. Okay, and let me tell you, as a recruitment background, it is almost impossible to change a hiring manager's mind once they've made it, right? So a third of them have made a yes or no on that candidate in the first 90 seconds. So why is that relevant here? Well, you think about that translates when you're meeting people, like out networking or whatever, right? Meeting new clients, doing a pitch, whatever. A third of those people are likely to make a decision in the first 90 seconds based on your introduction. So that's why those things are really important.
And especially for such a customer service focused industry that we are, the team, the help desk is always doing it all day, every day. The project team, the sales team, even our internal operations are needing to convey complex information in a short amount of time in a very considered way that to non-technical people. So that whole, being able to introduce yourself and convey that knowledge in that sort, it's a very important skill.
Totally important. It's one of those things because I call it an elevator pitch. It could be a personal value proposition or your value proposition or whatever, right? But I like without that, it's one of those things. Like I'll have a room full of senior executives, and I'll be like, who has an elevator pitch? And it's funny because hardly anybody ever puts their hand up. And it's one of those skills that when you have got it, you think, how did I get by without it? And now that I've got it, I can just keep evolving that, and I'll use it for the rest of my career. And you end up having these sessions with people, and then they're like, hold on, I use my elevator pitch, several times a week now. And it's funny because they never even realised that they needed one in the first place.